What's up? alexy1 playing Tankist88. Mikhail Pogromsky. And it seems like he's lagging a bit. Anyways, he's back. D4. Let's see. Knight f3. We can go b5 here. I'll just make it somewhat of a b4, but then reversed. A6. When they go a5, well, like in a b4, when they go a5, a4, maybe I should take. You always have to watch out for something like a6 in such a position, and therefore I'm playing a6 myself, since I don't have to watch out for that anymore. If I do that, okay. Something has gone wrong here for us. I have to take now. But where am I gonna put this knight is the problem. I might go d5 in the future. Well, not anymore. Maybe rook a7, rook b7, maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? Huh, you can't really respond. I know. H6, maybe. Just trying to get a piece off of g5. I wanted to go bishop c5 next, actually. So if I want bishop c5 immediately, then something on g5 would be annoying. Therefore the h6. Well, knight takes. Bishop queen d5 wins a pawn. Maybe, not really, since we have rook d8 afterwards. Actually, I want to put this knight here, but on e6. But if I want to do that, I'm losing a pawn. I don't know how bad that is, though. Because if we go rook d8, they don't really have a follow-up. Well, knight d8 again loses a rook now, so that's not good as well. So I probably have to go rook d8 anyways. But my plan might be bishop a7 and then either queen c5 or queen e6, maybe. If he goes knight d4, I might take and play something like queen e6. Yeah, so I'm gonna go queen e6 here. And then I might play knight e7. Knight f5 maybe. Yeah, so I'm still in somewhat of a bind. I do want to play d6 here, but it seems like I can't really. Well, I can. I'll just do it. Who gives a shit? Knight takes is probably better. So I'm not really threatening anything with my knight, but on the other hand, I have stumped his d-file a bit. But our pawn structure is bad, though. But since we're not down anything, we might be okay here. But our pieces look pretty strange. Can't really move anything even. Yeah, I'm gonna go rook f7 here, attacking f2 and also somewhat freeing my knight, and therefore freeing my whole position. But I shouldn't have gone to b5, since that just achieves nothing. Okay. Well, now we're just down a pawn, but we do have some play opposed to what we had before. It's interesting, this position. It should be a win for him. Yeah, now he's up 2 pawns, and but we do have some time advantage. No, he might go for the draw. No, he won't. Oh, too bad. Check. I'll try and get the flag here. But this guy's pretty fast even for... Check. Oops. Yeah, now it's done. So I thought I had him there, but it turns out I didn't, and now he's just gonna flag me unless he gets a lag wave hit or something. Yeah, this is pretty hard since it's hard to figure out where he's gonna pre-move towards. Yeah. So when I get such a position with white, I just try and be annoying, but I'll show that at the end. Anyways, this opening is pretty fun actually. So, as you guys might know, I play 1b4 in normal games in Blitz, and I stopped that for these videos since they would be pretty repetitive. But playing b5 here is somewhat of a reversed b4. So if they do something like e3, we can just go. Well, then we have to go a6. But if I don't know, if they just totally don't even look at what I'm doing, we can just go, I don't know, something like this. And this is just a b4 position. It's just the same. b3. I'm just making some normal moves here. Yeah. a3. This is just a normal position, but then with the colors reversed. One of the drawbacks though is that e3 here, we can't really go b4 since a3 is pretty annoying. Normally if you go in a b4, when you go b4 and they go something like e6 and you have to go b5, when they attack this pawn with either the a or the c pawn, we want to defend it. When they attack with the a pawn, we want to defend it with the a pawn, and when they attack it with the c pawn, we want to defend it with the c pawn. This is both not really possible here, since a5 loses, because this rook is hanging here at the end. So after e3 we have to go a6 first, and thus losing another tempo, and that is pretty pivotal since we're already down a tempo regarding the 1b4, since we're black and white has to move. It's still not that bad since we're not losing by force by any means, but yeah, it is pretty annoying. But anyways, you went a4 and then b4 is an option, since c3 then we have to go a5, but at least we keep a pawn on b4, which is nice. Instead he went a5, okay, whatever, a6. And this is a pretty interesting position. Yeah, I was wondering, I was deciding between b takes c or c5 here. And, well, c5, if it's possible, it's nice. I didn't want to go e6 because c5 and then it's hard to defend this pawn. It might be possible still with d6 or anything or something like that, but I wasn't too sure. I thought, well, I'll just take, Because one upside to this opening is that your opponents don't really, well, they obviously haven't looked at this, since it's super weird. Well, I missed this knight before here. Yeah, that if that's possible, it's much better than a move like bishop c6. Even queen c6 might be, queen c8 I mean might be better, but yeah, I don't know, bishop c6. It's just so weird since we want to put our knight somewhere and now we have to put it there. And so still knight b4, but I missed that yet again. And now I might go d5 here. It's bad, it seems. I want to go knight d7, rook b8, and then bishop b5. I don't know why that's so bad. Bishop b7 seems normal, but then d5 is pretty annoying. So castle, oh yeah, h6. Yeah, I didn't want to relieve the pressure, but I might. Yeah, well, this is also pretty bad. H6, rook d1, bishop c5. I like this idea. Just activating our pieces and trying to get out of the pin he took here. And now queen e7 is a nice move. So if he takes here, obviously rook d8, and this is done. So yeah, he can't really take. At first I thought he could, but yeah. And now we're doing somewhat okay, actually. I like this idea of bishop a7. Since we're trying to get active with either our queen to c5 or our queen to e6. He went bishop g3, queen e6 I believe I went, yeah. Yeah, I was hoping he was gonna take, since that solves all our problems. Now we can put a rook on d5 and trying to double our rooks, and yeah, this is much better for us than the game. We're doing fine, but yeah, and this, on the one hand it's okay, but on the other hand we have some weaknesses. I need to point out, by the way, if he takes here, we have bishop takes f2. Just a small detail. So that move is probably bad. Queen e4 I hadn't really looked at, but that seems better. This way we keep our pawns a bit more normal. We also keep knight e6 out if it takes on g6 and then knight e6. Since that loses a pawn actually. Oh, you missed that. You went knight c6. Anyways, and also he somewhat, if he, I guess he has to take since queen g3 fails to knight f5. Yeah, because of this spin here. Well, queen d2 is a move still. Knight f5 even. I don't know. But this loses a pawn, I see now. I guess knight e6, yeah. If rook d7, then just taking here. So yeah, queen g6 was a bad move. Also, the engine liked what he did in the game. We're in a bind again. So g5, rook f7, and now he could just take on a7 and take on d6. But instead he went f3, and I saw an opportunity to free my knight, but I went to the wrong square. So going to b5 is just bad. I have to go to f5. And we're still somewhat worse, but yeah, opposed to this, we're just down a pawn without any real compensation. and this ending should be an easy win for him. As you can see, +3. There is only one position where I might have, so I got lucky there a bit, and then oh yeah, it's still winning. Rook g5 is a very good move. Yeah, I didn't really remember what this position was, and also yeah, I couldn't really calculate if this was winning in 8 seconds. I didn't see a win. I mean, I didn't see a way for me to get out of losing here. That's what I mean, but yeah, whatever. So we played it pretty well. I do hope you guys enjoyed this game and also learned something from the opening, because it's a pretty interesting alternative to anything else on in this position. C5 is a move I normally play here, and E6 is also a move, but after E6 I don't really like the idea of C4 then. So this B5 is pretty interesting. Yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.